All right, Nick, let's talk about the Tennessee Volunteers. On this channel, we love to talk about teams who do really smart things, especially in the recruiting game as of late. We like to talk about the teams that make all of the best recruiting moves. And Tennessee got a recruit today that shows they are still back on top in the recruiting game to make themselves a powerhouse in the SEC and a national championship contender.
Miles, I agree with you 100%. What Heupel is doing in Tennessee deserves a lot of credit, whether it's on the field or off the field in the recruiting game, like you allude to. But before we get into that news, got a question for you Volunteers fans to answer, as always, in the comment section below. Who is the greatest linebacker in Tennessee Volunteers history? There's a lot of interesting names that could certainly be at the top of that list, but we want you to narrow it down just to one guy and for you to give us that one guy in the comment section below. Brian, might as well throw it back to you now. What's the latest news out of Knoxville?
Yeah, Nick, I think you hit the nail on the head here. Talking about linebackers, great lead in here. Tennessee picks up another great one for the 2024 class. They have a 4-star linebacker in Jordan Burns. I'm going to read a little bit about him. This is from over on 3 Sports. Hayes Fawcett, great follow over there. Gives you a lot of really great recruiting news, so go give him a follow on Twitter. It says 4-star linebacker Jordan Burns of Atlanta, Georgia, the Pace Academy, announced his commitment to Tennessee Tuesday afternoon. The 6'1", 220-pounder chose the Vols over Arkansas and Vandy. Love that he picked him over Vandy there. You know, always in-state rival feels good. I just love the staff and the coaches, along with Tennessee being my dream school, Burns said. They're just real people and great people there. I'm closest with Coach BJ, Coach Heupel, and Coach Harbin. And Coach Banks. Burns said, the staff is amazing. I really think they are great people, and they plan to use me at middle backer and blitzing coming off the edge. They tell me they love me and they can really develop me. Nick, I think this is great news for the Vols, showing that these coaches are all out here recruiting guys, telling them how they fit into the program, exactly how they're going to use them on this defense to help elevate this defense that was weak at points last year. And I think this linebacker could really bring a lot to the table for him. But I also like they stole a guy out of Georgia. I think that's really big for the program as well. But I'm curious, Nick, I want to know, what do you think about this pickup for Tennessee, and what does it mean for the overall program?
Miles, I think this guy's an absolute steal. I watched the film of him in high school. And look, anytime you're looking at some high school recruits film, you're always going to take it with a grain of salt because you never know the level of competition they're up against. Or you're looking for general attributes, just little signs of their game to see how they'll fit in. And what they always say about playing defense, there's 2 things you can't coach: physicality and effort, or motor. You'll sometimes use the word effort and motor instead of effort. This dude has wheels, and while he has great speed, he plays with absolute intensity. His highlight film is full of sideline to sideline, high energy, high motor, high effort plays, and this dude can lay the wood mines. This guy's a physical game record. Volunteers fans, you're going to fall in love with this guy. He's going to be forcing all kind of fumbles. I think he can blitz off the edge and get after the quarterback. He can chase down the best of them. He's got good speed, good energy. I loved watching this kid's high school highlight film. I normally don't say that. I usually hate watching people's highlight films, whether it's high school or college. This guy, I loved it. Just the way he played the game. Tough, physical, running sideline to sideline, high motor, high energy. Remind me a lot. I know it's a little bit of a stretch here, but he did remind me a lot of a young Brian Urlacher, who also played running back in high school. Of course, Burns did as well. Coming out of high school, Urlacher was a sideline to sideline maniac, just incredible motor guy. Burns falls under that same mold. I would not be surprised at all if he gets a lot of playing time early in his Volunteers career, because I think he's that kind of player. I think he's graded out as a 4-star according to 24/7 Sports. I think he has the potential to have an impact of a 5-star recruit. I think this is a massive steal for the Tennessee Volunteers football program. But one of the things I want to dive into a little bit of why a high motor, high energy guy really matters on defense. Because when I played college football, and I played smaller time college football, nothing like SEC, but one of the things that always frustrated me about defensive players, and this is just a mindset some defenders have, is that as long as they line up in their gap or they have their general responsibility, they don't care. I remember blocking a lot of outside linebackers in some situations where they had outside contain or some sort of gap integrity, and I'd shield them off. They'd be completely out of the play. We'd be running to that side of the field and we'd gash them. And they'd sit there and act like they did their job. They did a great job. They weren't anywhere near the play. They were completely hung up with me. It was a big play for us on offense, but they didn't care. They're like, well, I did my job. It's fine. Like, that's not how football works. You have to have the mentality to go after the football, especially on defense. Motor, energy, get off blocks, get to people, lay the wood when you get there. Burns does not have the bad mentality. He has the good mentality of fighting through blocks, fighting through opposition, getting to the football and jarring it loose with high physical effort and high contact. I love this kid, Miles. I think he's kind of the opposite of a bad attitude guy. I think he's going to come in and change. If there's any bad culture on the Volunteers defense, this guy's energy is going to get rid of it in a heartbeat. I love this addition for the Volunteers.